Okay, this is video 2 guys and girls on Limelight Verse, instructional video, and in this one we will be covering how to create a manual chase of colours and gobos. Sounds hard, it's not, I promise you, piece of cake. If I can pick it up and do this, so can you. What I'll do at the end of each video is leave you with a little bit of video footage of Limelight Verse in action so that you can see exactly what the software is capable of and more. Okay, here we go. We're on the fixtures page again and I've added the Mac to it. It's a Mac 250, so if I add that I want to work on, and I want to open up intensity attribute, color attribute, and gobo attribute. Zip. And I'll move that one over there like that. We're going to try and create ourselves a manual chase of colours, which is this strip along here, and gobos. So that what will happen is, to the beat of the music, or in the timeline that you give it, the Mac that we've selected will both change colour and change gobo. Hopefully after each circle that the Mac's made. And we'll show you how to do that right now. What we need to do is go into editors, which is over here, select manual chase wizard, and we get ourselves a window like that that pops up which says manual chase wizard. On here we have forwards and backwards in the steps. We haven't got any steps yet, so it's step 1 of 1. Play the steps that we've created. The speed of the steps in beats per minute, and the fade time between each step. Fade time is very important. I leave that at 50%. It gives it time to shuffle through all the gobo wheel and shuffle through the colour wheel to select it. Any faster than 50% and you usually wind up in trouble with the light getting a little bit confused trying to flick through so fast between each ones. Those are the only ones that we need at the moment. On here it's add, which is add a step. That one's insert a step before the one we're on, so if I clicked insert we'd end up with step 1 of 1 and the next one will be 2 of 1. Delete the step that we're on. You can add more, which is clear the state that we're in at the moment. State is something that you save, and keep the state when adding a new step. Well, what we want to do is clear the state every time we add a new step, and then obviously save saves the chase. So here we go. The first step of the chase, we're going to have a blue propeller. I like that blue propeller, see? And we need the shutter open for that. So once we've got the shutter open by clicking on it, the blue by clicking on it, and the propeller gobo by clicking on it, we want to add that step. We've now got 2 steps in the chase, so it shows you step 2 of 2. If I go back, it's step 1 of 2. We're going to go to step 2 of 2. You'll notice all these have reset. The gobo, the colour and the shutter. So again we want to open the shutter, and this time we'll have a red circle, a little bit like that. But this time we'll have the gobo rotating ever so slowly. And once we've set everything up, so we've got gobo rotating in red and the shutter open, we press up here on the chase wizard add. The third step will have a green plain open spotlight, and we have to open the shutter again. Always remember to open the shutter, and we'll add that state by going up here. That just adds that step in. And finally, we'll have 3 dots, and I fancy those in Lello. Hit Lello, shutter open, and that's the last step. We don't want to add any more steps to that, so what we do is go to the speed, and we'll bring it down a little bit so that you can see it happening to about 50 BPM, and we'll save that chase. Once I've hit save, the same thing comes up like this, and it says save and add to save it. We want to call that one so that we know what it is again. Mac Chase, which is gobos and colour chase. Save it and add to a submaster. So we'll save that next to our colour line again on the first free one, and we've got Mac Chase. Now if I hit Mac Chase, you will see all of these jump into life: the colour, the gobo, the colour and the shutter, and it will follow it. Whoops, helps if you click on the right key. There we go, and there we have. We see it changing at around about 50 beats per minute. As you can see, it comes up, wait for it, the circle that's scrolling, and that circle was, wait for it to come back, in red. We've got the green open, the green circles, the red open. As you can see, it's chasing through. So now that you've added that, and this again is why this is such a powerful tool, I can now have my Mac performing a circle, the key we saved earlier, Mac circle, performing a circle, and whilst it's performing the circle, that will be a white light until I press Mac Chase, and I can then add to that circle the Mac 250, changing colours and gobos whilst it's turning the circle on the floor. If we added another chase to that, like we just did, we can then have that in a different set of shapes and colours, or even just a different set of open gobos on the floor, and we can click that one and still keep the circle going. None of these keys override each other, as you can see. Or if we didn't like that shape, we'd add a figure of 8 to the Mac on another key. We'd tell it to do the figure of 8, but still do the chase and colours that we programmed before. You're looking at this and thinking, well, there's not many options here because there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 across there and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down there, which in my mathematics is 20 different things we can get it to do. Well, if we click plus, you can just see that number 1 in the corner changes to a number 2, and it brings us a second page, and we can have up to 9 pages, 10 pages, sorry. On there, we'll go back to page 1 where we saved everything. You also may ask yourself, well, if they're all in red once I've added something to it, how do I know which is which on the fly very quickly? Well, what we'll do is we'll add a custom colour to the button. So if we go to this little colour wheel here, it pops another window open, and we'll have our scanners. We'll select blue. You can just see the colour it highlights down there, blue. If we click OK, we can now tell it that we want that button in blue. We want our Macs to stay in red, but we want a real burgundy red, so we know we've coloured it. Click OK, and we'll colour the Mac movement in burgundy. Now the way I set this out is, I have all my scanners in one colour, all my moving heads in another colour, all my lasers in another colour. But then, when we go down to the colour chases, I colour them the same colour. So I know that the top half of the buttons is for movement, the bottom half of the buttons is for shapes and is for gobos and colours. So again, we want that one to come in that burgundy colour. So we just change it like that, click OK, and we colour it the same. There we go. Top on the button one are the same. When you click them on, they turn red, or they turn a brighter colour to the one they are, so that you know that they're actually on and operational. There we go. We've just put in a manual chase, which will allow the light to change colour and gobo to the ones you've selected at the speed you've selected it to do that. And in the video before, we also added the shapes. Give you a chance to get your heads round that. So practice and enjoy.
Dreaming of you.